understand how we got this gym, we need to rewind 7 years ago. When Sean began training athletes out of our parents' home, he had very few equipment. A barbell with a shaky rack, a bench, some bands, some weights, and a stability ball. But not much more really. It forced us to be creative though. The current mastermind behind all operations, Thibaut, still had a full-time job and helped Sean on Excel spreadsheets, and I was still living in Japan. Training here was fun, but eventually, we had to move out of our parents' home. So Sean decided to move into a new gym for the first time. Sean reached out to Andrew, owner of Fit Brea. Andrew was very kind to rent out his space to give aquatic sports performance an unofficial home. As our space grew, so did our company. We had real racks, cables, a GHD, and much more. In this gym, we grew from having a handful of athletes to hundreds of athletes. We hired some people. We were happy to see our first sign go up on a wall. We implemented systems. We continued to grow, and we had much more space. We grew to a point where I eventually moved from Japan to be here full-time, and Thibaut quit his full-time job. It was also the birth of our pro team in 2025. We spent nearly 6 years in here. But eventually, you outgrow a space, so the hunt began for our own place. What we thought would be a 3-month project turned into a year-long nightmare. We decided to look for a place January of 2025. In February, we found a place that we liked. Our broker was a former water polo Olympian. We knew this was the spot. We signed our lease that started in May, but we had a few issues we had to tackle with the city before we can begin operations. We thought it would take a few months before we can officially open.
And basically they came back to us and said we need to do a change of occupancy application, which we're in Fort Lauderdale, by the way. Marina just swam her 50 fly. No idea what it's going to cost us, but it might be expensive, and we might need to add an additional ADA parking spot. And we might need to make additional structural changes for fire, so the building is up to fire code.
And this was just the beginning of many issues.
A couple things wrong with our application. The architects didn't include all of the parking spots actually included. The other thing was we needed to write in the project description how many athletes will be training at one time. The CUP got back to us, and the architects didn't correctly indicate the number of parking spots. So I'm here actually manually counting the parking spots, something I never thought I'd be doing as a strength coach. But
what we thought would be simple revisions turned into a back and forth game between the architect and the city.
Unfortunately, for the architects to complete their job on their side, it's going to take another 2 to 3 weeks, and then after the 2 to 3 weeks, it's going to be probably another couple weeks of revisions with the city. So we'll have to go back and forth between the architect and the city. So realistically, we're looking at another, I don't know, 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, hopefully sooner.
During this time, we were still running operations out of Fit Brea's gym while paying for our new space. We were paying double rent. We also started a pro team at this time, and things got busy over the summer. Sean, under a lot of stress, was at the World Championships when his health started declining.
Sean's in the ER now.
How you doing?
And that really freaked me out. I thought he was gonna die.
and we learned a lot. It kind of acted as a whole reset for Sean. I think Sean, he worked way too hard this summer. He's gonna use this as an opportunity to kind of slow down. Sean, myself, and Thibaut, and our whole staff and team, we were pushing hard on the gas pedal, and it's gonna be a reset for our company. We have a lot of new projects coming up and a lot of exciting stuff coming up.
It is currently September 2nd. I just got done speaking with the people at the city of Brea. Unfortunately, we have another round of revisions. I've lost count of how many rounds of revisions we've done. So we're losing about $10,000 a month right now, paying double rent, not to mention the opportunity cost of having our own space. So this is entrepreneurship, dealing with things that are out of your control and figuring out how to make the most of it.
We kept getting bad news.
Anyways, got some frustrating news and some not so frustrating news. Frustrating news is we had one last piece of the puzzle, the Brea Fire Code. They had to send some revisions to our architects so our architects can resubmit the plans. Have some more unfortunate news. This is becoming the most frustrating thing I've ever dealt with. Our architects calculated the occupant load as 25 people max, and the city of Brea calculated it as 66 people max. And unfortunately, if you have 66 people, it requires 3 bathrooms instead of 2, and we only have 2 bathrooms. And so I explained to the guy that we'll never have 66 people in the building, and that our minor CUP was approved with 8 people max, explaining our business model. I started looking for properties in January, started applying for the permits and the CUP and all that stuff in February. It is now September 18th. We're still working on this, so just got back from speaking with the city. Got some absolutely gut-wrenching news today. It's October 3rd, just got back from the city. I think I'm gonna cry. This is getting ridiculous, the amount of modifications that we have to make. Now they're telling me that there's a little small V gutter, and apparently that's not ADA compliant. And so we're having to figure out solutions. But anyways, yeah, it's October 3rd. It's been 7 months of this. I'm really tired. I'm really tired of fighting this. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating. It keeps me up at night. I haven't slept a whole night in almost 7 months because we're losing $10,000 a month. But yeah, this is not for the faint of heart, for sure. You've got to want it so bad, otherwise people would just give up. I've been doing a ton of research on this bridge that we have to build for wheelchair accessibility over the V gutter, which I've never seen in my life, by the way. And the building right next door doesn't have a bridge over their gutter. Basically have to buy a steel plate, and we're gonna buy A36 half-inch steel plates from a local steel supplier. And we're buying a 8 feet by 4 feet steel plate, and one of our athletes' parents, Jack, is going to have his guys fabricate meaning bend and weld and cut the plate so that it's compliant with what the city is wanting. Okay, cool.
New trucks.
All right, today's the day, the day we've been waiting for 8 months, 9 months. Today's the day of the inspection. I am extremely nervous right now. I can feel my heart pounding, but it's gonna be a good day. All right, just had the inspection done. Basically got hit with a ton of ADA corrections. Like the bathroom handrails, the sink height, the ADA signs, exit signs. There's a whole list of things that we need to correct, and so we will continue to be on the path of resilience and keep chugging along.
But it was yet another problem. that we had to solve, something we were getting used to, and we were getting good at solving problems.
All right, little update. All three of us are here. We failed the inspection today. We basically got hit with like 40 to 50 different things of updates that we need to make. All right, it's almost 8 o'clock. Okay, so as part of ADA code, the restroom sign has to be an equilateral triangle, and this fire extinguisher is too high. Great day today. Today was the day. So we did a bunch of stuff to get up to ADA code. Inspector came today, didn't even look at it. Anyways, we passed, but there are still 2 more things we have to do. We have to pass the fire inspection, which should be easy, and then we have to upload our waste management plan, which should be easy. Once we do those 2 things, we are officially green lighted to start operations. That was probably the biggest dopamine hit of my life. I gotta give a shout out and thank you to my friend Jack at SBK Design and Construction and my friend Charles for all of the help in terms of all the contract work and getting the place ready for us. Couldn't have done it without them, but only 2 more easy things left until we have a gym. It's 13 months of hard work and just honestly getting punched in the face over and over again by the city of Brea. And we persevered. We did it. Today was our final day here. Just want to say thank you to Andre Redondo, the owner of Fit Brea here, for taking a chance on me 6.5 years ago. Without him, none of this is possible. And it's very surreal, but we're on to the next chapter. Yeah, thank you, Andrew, for allowing us to call this place our home.
After completing our other inspections and paperwork within these next few weeks, we were finally allowed to begin operations. It had been more than 1 full year. Yeah, so Sean was busting his ass, talking over 130 different places, and we finally got an okay from the owner for 1 place. So it's kind of exciting that we're in this next step, this next direction now.
So it's basically 3 different components that we need to match. It's very difficult to find, and this one met all 3 of those requirements.
But when we went to go see this specific one, I kind of had like a gut feeling inside.
Yeah.
And now here comes the fun part, to build a space to pursue potential. But in order to build a space to pursue potential, you can't just build a gym. You have to build a space that reflects the mindset required to reach it. So we put up college and national team caps to give athletes a goal to one day put their own up on the wall. The words pursue potential are ingrained everywhere, a reminder of why they're in here. Specific placement of equipment to organize the gym. The less chaos, the clearer the mind to train. And quickly enough, this place began to feel like a space to pursue potential. As we keep building it, the space will continue to evolve into its own character. New caps and awards as we achieve greater accomplishments. New equipment and decorations as we keep evolving as a business. This journey taught us more than how to be strength coaches. It taught us the game of entrepreneurship, and with that comes many punches to the face. But the harder it got, the more resilient we became. And the more resilient we became, the more character it gave our gym. Because if you take a look at the hardship we endured to get here, you can see it in the spaces of our gym. And our gym is a place to pursue potential.